sit all cloudy and blends with the dream of bottles lying everywhere. Got a guitar in my hand and a Western oil can under my ukole for a chair. It's Aloha Friday, no work till Monday.
Let's go back to the beginning of this. So I see Marvin Buenconsejo working for Macy Hirono. I go, Marvin, I want to have you on the show. He goes, you want to have me on the show? No, I work for, you know, this is official stuff. I got to get permission, all this. But actually, it's because you were so much a part of everyone's life. You know, no, really,
Yeah.
really. You know, as broadcast is growing here in Hawaii, and there are some dynamic things happening, people live the moments, right? So your name and what you gave us, just super. We got
You
to
don't
thank you for
remember
that.
this, but you interviewed Eli Palace.
And here's a good thing. Marvin is like me, see, except he went from Kamehameha to Punahou, okay? And I went from Aiea Elementary and Intermediate to Kamehameha. So it's kind of the same thing where you're moving schools. Now Ikaika went from St. Patrick's to Iolani.
Right.
So if we look at all of the, you know, those intermediate years and how important they are to everybody, it's a great memory.
Well, and funny you say that because at Kamehameha, my classmates were Naleo.
Ooh, Naleo.
And so when we were small kids, like kindergarten, Nalani, Choi,
Yes.
or Nalani Jenkins, when we were kids, grew up in Wailua.
Right, North Shore.
North Shore.
Yeah.
Okay, Min,
That's why they have that song, right?
Can we
Yes,
get to
right.
North Shore Serenade? Okay, that's Min. He would never show you, but I'll show him. Wait, that's the wall. Wait, oh, there's Min. Okay, good. There's Min, there's Leilani, Marvin, the handsome Ikaika, and me. I'm behind the camera, okay, don't forget.
But anyway, so I grew up in Waiua, and we would carpool to the Kapalama campus together.
Wow,
Yeah.
how's that?
Yeah, so.
That's so cool.
Awesome.
But I transferred to Punahou because I would learn later. Let's just say I needed a change of pace. I was kind of the Kolohe type. So.
Oh, you're cool. And
Join the club.
And Kamehameha was easy.
Good company.
But I want to give, you know, since we're talking about my mom was a single parent.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Hey.
Yes.
How about that?
We understand that.
She, you know, she was a secretary at a trucking company in Waipahu.
Wow.
She was determined to send me to Punahou and my sister to Mid-Pac.
Wow.
You know,
So I want you to look next door because you two are both single parents.
I was, and my two daughters, I sent them to private school. It was important, and so you do everything you can.
You know, and it's not an issue of private versus public.
And true.
It's the idea that, you know, my mom had made decisions in her life,
Right.
and she was, you know, and I look back and I appreciated it then. Of course, I'm gonna appreciate it more now, and I just, you know, I'm gonna have lunch with her later today. But you know, I do tell her, you know, I don't know how you did that, Ma.
And I think, you know, you just said something, because it's not about, private is better. It's just that because as a single parent, it's like, what environment can you place them in that'll be protective while you're away from them, because we don't have both parents. So that became the other parent in a way.
Ladies and gentlemen, the inner works of a brand new soap opera. Yes, right here. Well, it starts off. No, it opens with the North Shore Serenade by Naleo Pili Mehana. Let's take a listen, and we'll continue with this dramatic presentation of Beautiful Hearts right here on Aloha Friday, brought to you by
He said, and it's Pelatron Companies.
Yes, take it to the North Shore. That's what it is. Na Leo Pili Mehana, who went to school with, they were so lucky, Marvin Buenconsejo.
No, I was the lucky one. Those ones, they were talented back then, and they're more talented now.
yeah.
Were they doing like harmony stuff at that time?
From small kid time, you knew that they were different. You knew that those guys was all right. You know, like they're different.
And so-
and then you knew that the song contest, for example, they was gonna rock the song contest, and they did for years.
And Leilani, you know, she has a heritage. Leilani comes from a heritage of great Hawaiian ladies.
She does, from Auntie Betty Jenkins.
Yes, very
Auntie
much
Betty
so.
Jenkins, yeah.
Very much so.
Jenkins Spencer.
Oh, okay, there you go. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say Auntie Betty Jenkins and the Spencers and William Ellis, that Reverend William Ellis that came here. So that whole, line that goes
You know what's
way
funny?
back.
She's our encyclopedia.
You talked about how we're kind of back in the day, but today we get social media, we get texting.
Yes.
So one of my classmates, our classmates, is Leanne Shishiro, and she's just texting me, "Hey, you on the radio? I see you on."
Fuck you.
So she's my cousin and my classmate from Kamehameha class.
Wow.
Yeah,
how's it?
And all
And
those
that's the thing, because your intermediate years, you don't realize there are a lot of people that you're touched by, you never leave. My classmates from intermediate time, and I'll never forget them.
Well, look at even Aimoku and Harvey. They go back to elementary school, yeah.
Elementary.
And
That's right.
Peloton,
That's right.
Who sponsored this show?
Well, that's a good plug-in. That's very, very nice. Did you hear that, folks? Okay, Leilani
I'm sorry, I missed that. Did you say Pelotron?
Guys who
I
make
missed
this
that.
show
Pelotron. I am sorry.
Kimo and I were talking about this yesterday, how beautiful it is to be, born and raised in Hawaii and go to school here all your life, pretty much, or even if you go away for a little bit and come back, there's still a connection.
And speaking of connection, in talking about Pelotron, Aimoku and Harvard Kim and myself got together. They wanted to start a company, so they needed one more Hawaiian, and they knew I would say yes. Yes. Oh no, you guys are good. and so they put together the company, but I don't think they even realized how. Well, number one, how tough it was going to be to compete in military contracts. Okay, with the big guys, right? General Dynamics, Boeing, everybody else. But also to be able to be successful in this 88 companies and NHOs, and it's been very, very successful. But here it brings us right back to your employer. I mean, amazing.
First of all, we got a chance to visit your company, Pelotron, and it's such an amazing work being done there, especially since being able to get, the brightest minds our islands can provide.
Right. A lot of engineers.
Put them to good work, good paying jobs.
Yeah.
I don't know if President Obama just unveiled his new budget, like $3 trillion budget.
Right,
and
right.
in there, Senator Hirono is real supportive, as she's been from day one, of those programs for Native Hawaiian education,
right?
Native Hawaiian housing, Native Hawaiian healthcare. Gotta keep, those things. There are those in Washington D.C. who would love to get rid of those programs.
Right.
And so someone like Maisie is up there. She brings her shield, brings her hammer, and starts beating them back and making sure that these programs. And with that, we need to talk about Senator Akaka.
Right.
And Senator Inouye.
Yeah.
And
Dan.
Yeah, and how they really made a difference for companies like Pelotron.
Right.
And all the local companies that they've been able to, really support.
Yeah.
And so and Senator Hirono is in that fine tradition.
Yeah.
And let's keep it going. You guys keep up the good work.
You're in the federal building, right? And they yesterday I was headed over there, and they had a security check.
Yeah.
Oh, brother, they had a security check. I said, well, let's estimate it and see how long it takes for one person. Okay, good. Okay, I'll come back tomorrow. because but it's important at this particular time. Security goes up. That's it. This is a regular thing. Don't be shocked. That's just the way it happens.
And it's so not local. It's just that's not how we operate. It's not our culture. But someone's just not gonna help.
Hey, it's funny because I went to the airport. Going to Osaka this past week, and so I get to the airport, right? Going to the stuff. Hey, well, I don't know about this guy. Local action, right? Yeah, Kimo. Okay, just moving through. So you want to do everything correctly, but you can see there's still some wonderful local people who are still trying to help people along.
Very much
and that's the main thing.
That's
the main thing, yeah? So it depends what kind of shirt you wear. You can wear a Puno shirt, maybe a shirt, Iolani shirt. You gotta wear some shirt that people can identify with.
But is it just me, or is it a lot less than it used to be?
Oh no, St. Patrick's. No, it is smoother than it used to be. It is smoother because
Systems are getting worked out.
Well, and also it's a function of us becoming. It's like you're driving on the freeway by UH Manoa, right?
Right.
They get those crazy turns.
Uh-huh.
Those are like the most dangerous roads in America.
Right.
In America,
Right.
how come no more accidents?
Getting on and getting
Because
off.
we know better.
Right.
We kind of got used to it.
Yeah.
You know, same thing with those checkpoints. We just kind of know better, so now we know how to do it. But that's a dangerous area.
Yeah, so isn't this cool? This is good, and we haven't even talked about one news story yet. So anyway. Okay, quick.
Sometimes it's better that way.
No, yeah, sometimes it's better that way. I tell you what.
Positive.
We're going to go right to sports, okay? We're going to go right to sports right after we hear some beautiful music. Hawaiian style. We'll be right back. I'm Kimo Kahuano.
This is Ikaika Kahuano.
And Leilani Kupahu-Marino.
With Min and our special guest, Marvin Buenconsejo.
There we go.
Welcome back to Aloha Friday, brought to you by...
Peace It and its Pelletron Company.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for sports.
That's right, sports time 6:23. This is Ikaika Kahuano. Go Sports! What is up, Aloha Friday Sports Nation?
What?
The Indianapolis Colts made a flurry of moves Thursday, releasing starting center Samson Satele, unfortunately,
You guys
and making
stupid.
qualifying offers to 3 players set to become free agents next week. Satele, as you know, is a former University of Hawaii lineman and was one of the first free agents Indianapolis signed 2 years ago when they started rebuilding.
And also...
But he was hobbled by injuries in both seasons.
More!
And UH's Blacktop Bulls lose to UCSB 86-77 in Santa Barbara, yet this seemingly innocuous loss in progress made breaking news on ESPN. Apparently, the Thunderdome Arena in Santa Barbara is not just a clever name, as one inebriated fan stormed the court in with 6 seconds left in the first half, just after UH head coach Gib Arnold received a technical foul for arguing with the ref. The fan came within 2 feet of Arnold and started shouting at him before being pushed away by some UH players, then escorted out of the building by security.
He's lucky.
Interestingly,
He was arrested. Yeah.
Yeah, well, interestingly, this incident comes only 1 week after a post-game brawl between fans and players at the New Mexico State versus Utah Valley game. Arnold's post-game quote, "You can't control crazies, that's why they're crazy." It sounds like the only thing missing was Tina Turner and Mad Max.
Oh.
The Blacktop Bulls have one more chance tomorrow night at home on senior night to earn that coveted 20th win for the season, and are the number 4 seed heading into next week's Big West tournament.
All right.
And in NBA news, LeBron James had a career-high 61 points against the Bobcats earlier this week. Carmelo actually put up 62 on the Bobcats in January, but the all-time benchmark is still Wilt Chamberlain, whose record of 100 points in a single game has stood for 52 years. Kobe Bryant is alone at second with 81 points, and in case you were wondering, the great Michael Jordan's highest single-game score, do you know it?
Michael Jordan's highest single-game score is...
I actually thought it was higher than this, but it was 69 points.
69?
Yep, which he did in an overtime win against Cavaliers, so he had a little bit of extra time to make those 69 points. And
Well, Jordan did it with style.
Oh,
he was
the man.
flying when he was shooting.
He's the man. And if he had to do it in overtime, at least he got it done. And in interesting high school football news,
Okay.
here locally, a coach from Idaho, Lee Leslie, has been hired as the head coach for Kahuku. Now, Leslie comes action-packed with credentials, but Idaho? Lee will be replacing...
And all the kids from Kahuku are not too happy, okay?
Well, Idaho can be country too. Kahuku's country, so there's
I don't
a connection there.
understand.
And
What?
now you're coming into my country.
No, but what's
That's
up
my
with that?
cousins.
What's up with that? What's up with
Well, that's what I'm
taking
saying.
a Kahuku coach that's, born and bred
Done
there?
a great
Well, that's what I'm saying. So Lee will be replacing current head coach Reggie Torres, who also has an impressive coaching history, in a move that has many scratching their heads. But all's fair in love and war, I suppose, so best of luck to the Red Raiders.
Well,
right?
yeah, but who's making the decision, right? Who?
That's what I'm saying. And in the raging surf below, a northwest swell making its way to the islands was promising surf up to 35 feet on some shores, and has prompted weather officials to issue a high surf warning effective 10 a.m. today to 6 a.m. Sunday. Weather officials warn beachgoers that are only experienced persons should enter the water at the affected beaches.
Wow.
And there's your look at sports on Aloha Friday.
Yeah, all the surfer types from all over the world hanging out North Shore.
But it still probably won't be big enough for the Eddie.
Big time.
Yeah.
Marvin Buenconsejo hanging out North Shore.
Oh, I don't know about that surf though. No.
Oh, no.
We're creating our own North
35
Shore in
feet.
here.
Huh?
We're creating our own North
Oh,
Shore
sure.
in here. Riding your wave.
The only female in this group.
I gotta stand up for all us. What do you
So we
mean?
got 5 males and 1 female, yet I still feel outnumbered.
Okay. And now the news. Welcome to the real world, son. Okay? No matter what. Hey, you got Marvin. He's been, through broadcast, but actually, Marvin, you had some humble beginnings. Actually, Well, how did you get into this thing? You know, it's amazing the stories of how people actually get into broadcast. You know, Emmy's dad was doing a radio show, so she really had that kind of thing going on with her father.
No, oddly enough, okay, so I decided for college that I wanted to kind of check out what's out there off the islands. So I threw a dart at the wall, and I landed in Seattle at the University of Washington. Fine, okay, so I thought, you know what, this is the 80s.
Right.
Where everything was about the money.
Right.
You know, so I thought, if you can touch the money, you can make the money. So I said, I'm going to be a business major. Okay, but what I didn't know was that you have to be good at math. Okay, because I lope it like that. So I go into
How much you got left?
my freshman year, I didn't know you could drop classes in college. I had no concept of what that meant because I really would have dropped that class. But I actually flunked. My only class I ever flunked was my math class in my freshman year of college.
Wow.
So that was kind of not only just a wake-up call because I spent like the rest of the year on academic probation, but it also made me realize, okay, math is not your strength. Play to your strengths.
Play to your strengths.
Okay. So I said, okay, what can I do? Well, you know, I'm pretty good in front of a crowd. So that's what turned me toward speech.
Speech.
And I was going to be a speech, not therapist, but, you know, communications and speech.
Communication.
And then that grew into broadcast. So my degree is actually in journalism, broadcast journalism.
Wow.
So I'm one of the lucky ones who actually found a job in my chosen field. And but also because I stunk at math.
Well, University of Washington is very competitive. I mean, it is. You know, it's up there in the north. Yeah, you're frozen, but you know,
and rainy,
and cold, but you study.
Well, let's not get out of hand though. No.
But you know, the interesting thing about that story is actually when I went to University of Hawaii, they had this class called Math 100, which was, you know, also when I entered college, math wasn't my strong point either, but Math 100 was, you know, everybody thought, oh, I'm going to get away with it, I'm just going to take Math 100. And it was all the athletes and everybody, and majority of people actually flunked that class. I got a B in it, but it was not easy.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
No, seriously, because I thought, oh, 100. If he says 100, it must be easier.
Right, but it was like proportions,
it's the eliminator, you know what I mean? It's the eliminator. We won't tell them.
Yeah. It was actually a difficult class.
Weeding out classes, they say.
But the thing about it was a different type of math. So as you get higher, you get more into like algebra, then trig, and then you go to calculus. So
yeah, it was. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
You know, being involved in broadcast journalism is very interesting because you actually were led right to the right venue. Because a lot of people want to be in broadcast, but they don't have the journalism background. A lot of people want to be involved in journalism, but they can't communicate. You know, they get in front of a TV camera or radio, and they go in. Well, you
know, and that's you're right. I mean, I'm blessed. I mean, I am. I'm truly blessed. You know, funny thing is, so I got hired at KHON, and like within 6 months, they put me on air because I guess they ran out of warm bodies. But my claim to fame...
6 months you were on air?
Like right out of college. Hang on though, my claim to fame though is they started this new show on KHON, and I got selected to be one of the first judges on the opening night of a show called Hawaii Stars.
Oh my gosh!
Amazing!
Can we run the footage now?
We even have a live person here today.
No, so me.
Two live people.
No, so it was on the center stage at Aloha Shopping Center. It was so exciting. The bright lights and the cameras. We had our KHON crew. It was at the time was Leslie Wilcox and Howard Deshevsky.
Oh wow!
Okay, and then Ray Lovell was one of them too.
Ray?
And then was me. And the reason why I separate this out because in those days you was cranking out shows, right? You did 3 shows one night,
right?
And then you guys aired it.
That's right.
As the weeks went on.
Yeah, 3 shows in one night.
Ba-bam!
Ba-bam!
And you said 48 weeks, right? It was the only long...
Over 40 weeks a year. No, but in the history of television, to run that for 16 years consecutively, Carol Kai got all the advertising taken care of. She's the superwoman, businesswoman in Hawaii to be able to do that for this television show. Today, there's no way anybody could afford to do that. So we do 6 shows a year now, but there are 6 great shows. But in those days, Marvin, you were part of television history.
Well, no, exactly. No, and we knew it that night. We because we were all together. Hey, good luck, check out this show. And then once the light came on, holy stars, Kimokohon, right? Now the whole thing, we kick into the open. Yeah. Oh, that was exciting.
Wow.
Did you judged?
I judged.
You judged?
Okay, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because he was either judge or sing, bro.
Yeah. Well, but hey, don't give a Filipino a microphone. Okay, you'll never get that microphone back.
Hey, your favorite song? Let's hear it. What is your favorite song?
The go-to song.
The go-to song in karaoke.
I love you just the way you are.
Enjoy. Hear that.
On this
That's live stuff, folks. That's the real thing. Oh, it's awesome because this is what we're missing. We're missing communication, right? Not communication that's sterile, but communication that speaks to the heart, local style, right? And this is what this program is really about. And thanks to Imoka McClellan and Harvard Kim. Who are at the top of a successful organization who has allowed us to be able to share the heart and the stories. And leading the way this morning, Marvin Buenconsejo, and his boss is Maisie Hirono. Now, before she was involved in politics, she was a very successful lawyer. And law, having that background is great. So it is super how she's been able to successfully move from law to local politics, now to the national stage, and therefore international stage, with what we saw in Russia and the things that are happening all over the world. The Philippines, Marvin, I mean, about the tragedy in the Philippines and how that's being also answered. Yeah.
Well, your timing is amazing because just a few moments ago, the Senate approved a bill that she introduced that will give tax breaks to those who donate in support of the relief efforts at the Typhoon Haiyan. So they were amazing to know because that happened like a couple hours ago.
And what a great transition to yesterday with her being the Dalai Lama as well. And there's a quote that Dalai had said, "With our thoughts we make our world, our mind is central and precedes our deeds. Speak or act with a pure mind, and happiness will follow you like a shadow that never leaves." And so, here are the works that she's doing, not just here in Hawaii, but around the world. And then you were sharing some pictures with her.
Yeah, for those of you fans out there who do social media, go ahead, tell us about the...
Well, actually, if you just, I guess, for those of you who know about Instagram, right, which is pretty much everybody, so Instagram.com/Maisie Hirono, and there's a bunch of pictures with her and the Dalai Lama.
Wow.
Yeah,
how cool is that? What a great honor.
Because she's,
amongst other pictures.
No, but because she's Buddhist, she was given the honor to escort him to the Senate floor, and he gave opening prayer for the United States Senate.
Wonderful. And, what a great transition to that spiritual and heart story.
Yeah, he's amazing.
And that's what this show is all about, ladies and gentlemen. So, heart. It's fun, it's warmth, it's touching you in many different ways, and we'll be back with more. Let's get to the music of Hawaii. The music that, is classic, only here on AM 940. At am940hawaii.com and iHeartRadio AM 940. Oh, perfect.
No, that was perfect.
The great sounds of Pops Gabby Pahinui. Ladies and gentlemen, Happy Aloha Friday brought to you by...
He said it's Pelletron Company.
And I'm Imoka and Harvard. Mahalo for that. Great company, though. So many people working very, very hard to keep the organization growing and going. Okay. Also, I want to say aloha to each and every one of you out there. Thank you very much for being a part of this showcase. Our special guest here today is broadcast guru. That's why he got out of it.
That's another name for old timer.
It's Marvin Buenconsejo.
Hello, everybody. Good morning.
Yeah. So thanks for stopping by and taking the time.
Hey, I didn't know.
This morning.
Do you guys know? Have you guys announced who else is coming later on today? Because that's the real reason why I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here for some of the other guests.
You never know. But Robert Cazimero.
That's it.
Yes.
Robert's coming in.
I was ready to bolt till you said that.
Yeah.
Robert, I gotta stay for that.
Yeah. Glad you did.
I gotta.
Yeah.
That's it.
It'll be a fun
Robert
time
Cazimero.
with all of us here.
See, Robert, now you got to show up now. Come on, we announced you now.
Now, did you put him downstairs?
We never announce anybody because we don't know, something could happen.
No pressure, man. No pressure.
Don't worry, if Robert doesn't show up, you are Robert Cazimero.
Robert will show.
Much Robert will be
I trust him.
My little lamp is down in Waikiki.
Okay, so here's the story about that. Here's the story about Brother Nolan.
Yeah.
We go to his show at the Crown.
Week.
and he's there with the concert, and it's packed, and it's beautiful. And he talks about Tropical Baby. And he said, little did I know that this one song was going to be the song. He wrote it in his 20s, and this was the song that everybody recorded. So now he gets those residuals from the song.
Well, and he was told at that moment, now in 20 years or so, you'll be sitting back, you know, taking in your royalties, and like Kimo said, never did he know that that's what it would become. Amazing, though, how one moment you don't know where it's going to lead you in the future.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. Because, you know, with Aloha Friday, I haven't gotten one penny. Not one
And so
cent.
we're going to do something
Okay? But let me tell you this, that every time I hear the song, no matter where it is, or somebody sings it to me, it's just as Marvin was talking about earlier. It's a great feeling.
Yes.
It's a great feeling that people have made it their own.
Hey, and let me remind you, there is no price tag for immortality. Okay?
Hallelujah!
You're going to be remembered long after we have left this good earth.
We talked about
You're going to be remembered for that
the
song,
connection
sir.
to the other generations.
That's it.
Yeah. Oh, man, it's so deep.
Hey,
Oh, it's so deep. We better get to the music so we can get to the next
price tag on that,
celebration
Mr.
coming up. It's Kanakapila Grill. We're going to talk about all the artists that are there and good times as we share with you this Aloha Friday, brought to you by
He said, and it's Pelotron Company.
Cazimero. Kuipo o ke au moe. I'm Kimo Kahuana
This is Ika Kahuana.
And Leilani Kupamarino.
with our fearless engineer Min, our special guest star Marvin Buenconsejo, and we're going to have Marvin tell you something that's very, very special that he wanted to share with our next guest.
I appreciate that, Kimo, because our next guest just walked in. And I will say that I did share this with him the last time we saw each other, but joining us now is a wonderful member of our community, which of course is Robert Cazimero.
Good morning.
And what happened was, you know, we've seen each other off and on. We run into each other, same circles, all that good stuff. And actually, one time, man, we did the premiere for Star Wars.
Oh my
Midnight
God.
showing, right?
Yeah.
I walk into the Star Wars, I think it was the second Star, whatever Star Wars. I look up in the stands, and they're I'm a Cazimero.
Yeah, I used to go to the opening one.
That's
pardon
right.
me. I used to go to every one of those movies. Yeah.
What you doing now?
Me and Tommy Aguilar.
Yeah, Tommy Aguilar.
Yeah.
What a talented actor and showbiz guy. Broadway.
Whenever I run into Robert, you know, it's a little bit different. I don't know, just something about this guy.
Yeah.
And it, you know, I just like to reflect on it. And then finally, I kind of had this epiphany, if you will. That, you know, when they say, if you want to be a positive person, you need to hang out with positive people.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
And I come to realize that, you know, when you surround yourself with loving people, you know, it just makes you, you know, that much more, hopefully, of a loving person.
Yeah.
And so when that's as best I can, that hopefully verbalizes, you know, what not only Robert means to me, you know, through his music and through the times we share, like this very moment right now, but to all of us here, and around the world,
all of us. Exactly.
7:33 in the morning.
Now,
no, but again, this, you know, you want to be a loving person, you hang out with loving people,
Yes.
and that's why I always look forward to having an encounter with Robert.
That's very nice. I like
Great to
seeing
see you
you
again.
often too. It's just great.
Marvin
We're-
Buenconsejo. And now, with the other introduction, here is Ikaika.
That's right. Our next guest is a Hawaii music living legend, award-winning singer, songwriter, kumuhula, and that is just scratching the surface of this great Hawaiian. Please welcome Robert Cazimero.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Now,
I
first,
found this man waiting for me out there.
Yep.
I was a little bit concerned about how I was going to get in, and then suddenly heaven was standing before me.
So beautiful. And Robert, you are doing something that is going, we're going, okay, now what is Robert doing? But you know what? Nobody can express it better than Robert Cazimero. So share this latest update with what you're doing now.
You know, here's an interesting thing. Had you asked me even 10 years ago that my life would be going in the direction it's in, I don't know that I could have said that it would be where I am right now. I mean, you know, being a personal trainer takes a whole lot out of you.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Okay, now that we got that, you realize that, positive people can throw a lot of BS your way.
Positively.
There you go, and lovingly. I think that I'm at the point in my life now where I feel fortunate that I don't have to work so hard to necessarily prove that I've done things. So I am grateful for whatever comes my way, and and I think about Mikey a lot because when I was with her,
I said for it to Mikey.
I mean, she would really work hard at not talking stink about people, and I was not giving very much attention to that because I was like leading the pack with, we don't like you, and we don't like you, and we don't like you, and I don't like you,
and Mikey's going, no, Robert.
Yes. Mikey would be like, you have to use those words, and I was like, yeah, because they're punks. But I'll tell you, I've realized through the years, and I'm at that point right now where it takes a lot of work to be negative.
Yes.
It really does.
Yeah.
And it's much easier to be positive.
Yeah.
And once you've gotten to this point where where I am today in my age and in this time, you don't have to work so hard at being noticed.
Just be.
You just have to be happy to be. So knowing that.
And how good you look, brother. You know what I mean? I mean, this is the thing, is that we have to know, how are we aging? It takes work. How does one keep a treasured voice working his entire life? And you took some precautions to be able to protect your voice.
Yeah, I did. I remember in in 1990, which was just yesterday for people like me, probably you weren't even born yet.
Okay.
But the thing about it was that I had taken a test for, what is that medical? I can't think. HMSA.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And they said to me that if I didn't make some life changes at that time, that I could be dead by 47.
Wow.
That I could be dead by 47. And I thought about it, and I thought, it's not so bad. 47 years is good.
It was a good run.
I mean, it could have been 22. So that's when I started paying more attention. And again, it wasn't the kind where, as my godmother used to say, Robert, we can't be fanatical. And I was like, no, we can't be fanatical. So it's taken that long, to come to this point. But I mean, in a couple of days, I'm going to be 65.
What?
Which because yes, I am. Those go together. And the thing about that is, I didn't think I was going to make it to this age. I mean, I think about friends who aren't here anymore, and listen to them singing on the radio and stuff like that. I realize the legacy that we hope we can hopefully leave behind. But it's even better if you can be here to tell the stories.
Yes.
Or straighten out the stories.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Redirect the story.
I tell my guys in Halau too, I said you have to live long and you have to prosper, not only for Spock, but for Robert and Cazimero. Because you got to tell the truth after I'm gone.
That's right.
You guys
Well,
tell the truth.
with that being said, and going back to Auntie Mikey, we were just talking about, there's not one person that I've met today who's known her or aware of her. She never said anything unkind, and you never hear anyone say that, well, she was this. It was always, she knew how to stop something right then, nip it, or else had nothing but kind things to say. And so I think that's a wonderful legacy we can be.
And for me, Mikey was like a second mom.
Right.
Right? Because her son, Rod was now Aloha, but we were hanging out as actors and together doing workshops in Halau after everybody was gone. And she was always just this great, wonderful woman.
So loving and open.
Yeah.
Stuff that I could never be.
But it was all meant to be. It was all meant to be. That association with her was just important, and people need to know out there how important this lady was. Not just as a kumuhula, but just as a heart, as a special person to nurture everybody's spirit.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So, tell everybody what you're doing, brother.
Hey, about 2 weekends ago, I did a jazz night at the Halekulani at Lewis Lounge, the Great American Songbook. So Matt Kattengoop calls me several months ago and he says, "Hey Robert, we're going to do this Hawaii Pops thing and we're wondering if you'd come and do 2 nights." I was like, "Have you got the right number?" Because I'm thinking, I would kill to this. I mean, we're just talking about having an opportunity to sing, but to sing out of the box. You know, I mean, I've always loved that kind of music.
Kattengoop.
Yeah, and he did all the arrangements and everything. I had a quartet behind me, bass, guitar. I was just gonna say ukulele, drums, and keyboard.
Wow.
And all I had to do was be Jimmy Budges. And then, of course, because he's my idol, we're all from Kalihi. And he shows up for the second show, and I'm like sweating bricks already. I said, "What the hell are you?" He said, "I gave you the first show. I figure you can relax it out, And then I come second show. I was like, "Yeah, the popo is going like this, right?" I'm like, "Oh my God, it's the Jimmy Borges." But I tell you, the recognition and the kindness of people is. And again, now that has to me, it's a reflection in retrospect of where everything started from so long ago, and the fact that, I mean, come on now, so many years later, after the Sunday Manoa in 1970, okay, and people still remember and respect you for that. I mean, I that's beyond grateful, I mean, and in Hawaii now it's so different. Take a look right out the window, with the different kinds of people coming to Hawaii, the immigrants. The fact that the kids nowadays, it's a real scary moment because not so many of them want to really carry on the stuff, and there are those who really do.
And they come from that social media, that games, so everything is about how quick can I make a change lane.
Or how quick can I be rich?
Yes.
How much am I going to have to work before I can finally reap any kind of reward?
And how do I work the system in order to get what I need?
For me,
right?
For me, not for us, but for me.
Right.
Which you got to give them a little credit for that, but then hopefully there'll be a time when they can turn that finger around, point back, and say, "Okay, now it's my turn. My turn to."
Like when we were talking to Steve, what brought him to Hawaii, Lemonade Alley, was your music.
Really?
Yes.
See, I didn't hear that. I got on.
I
just got on.
He said the
No. When he gave me this great prop, and here he is. He's married to a local girl, and he's committed to stay here. But here's a guy who's an entrepreneur, did a lot of world traveling. But it was the Brothers Cazimero. It was your sound that brought him here.
Years ago, I went on that lemonade diet. And ever since then, I've not been able to drink lemonade. So as I'm listening to Steve talk, I thought to myself, this could be a way back.
Yes.
A way back to embrace something that, right now, just to think about it, you have to do what, But, I mean, so you see, reinventation.
Right.
If you can live long enough, if you let the cycles, because I believe in cycles, if you can let that cycle come around and be there when it happens, those would be the operative words. Then then here I am. I'm going to lemonade. That's all I can say.
Well, what I think with what Robert was just saying, the unfortunate thing with some of the younger generations is that disconnect to one another, the heart, and being able to sit and have face-to-face conversations. So this might be something that our generation can be a leader in being able to help our young ones.
That's why we have.
Yes.
Yes. A wonderful connection.
Yes.
Yes. Wano is.
And Kamwela.
And Kamwela. Well, pick a child, any child.
Yeah.
You got three.
Yes.
You know them all?
They all are.
That's right. And Haku's in Kansas as a major in the Army. Yeah, in Kansas with 4 sons.
4 kahuanas.
Yeah, 4 sons. Lokahila ke alamaku in Haloa.
And love it.
Yeah. And they're waiting to come home.
That's great.
You'll get that opportunity.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up because it's like working with the greatest,
Right, yeah.
I'm just happy to be here.
You know what I mean?
And I got to tell you
like
that you two have something in common. And when we were talking about life cycles, yes, and that is you're Portuguese. Portuguese gonna live forever.
It's funny that you say that.
Forever, and everything works.
I go to Brazil.
Unfortunately.
I go to Brazil. They go Cazimero. Are you Portuguese? I go yes. I go to the Philippines. Oh, you must. There's a girl over there. She's a Cazimero. I'm like, no, that would be an S. I would be a Z. I'm Japanese Korean. That's what I am.
Which I guess is Portuguese.
Yeah. There you go.
They'll find their way.
Well, it's a special gift to be able to have health, to have, you know, Marvin coming in here. You know, he's got to know that the reason why I called him to be a part of this show, and how ironic that everything worked together for us to be together, is that we're all human hearts. We're all sharing in this great celebration of life. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
So we can see you at Halekulani now?
No, actually, it was just a one-time event, but
Okay.
we're hoping it'll be yearly.
Okay.
The thing about it is, though, you know, it's like it happened. I'm grateful. Let's move on.
Yeah.
And just be ready for something else to come along.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Do we have any hints about the next
Well,
great
no,
thing?
we don't. Except that my next gig will be right up the street over here at the Hawaii Theater on the 14th of March.
His
14th of March.
annual birthday celebration that
Yes,
he does.
Wow.
We did it at Chai's a few years ago.
Yeah, 14th of March, Hawaii Theater,
Yeah, 7:30 in the evening.
7:30 in the evening.
Yeah, and it's
Happy
gonna be me and
birthday
my
to
guys.
Robert.
It's called Hula Guys.
Awesome!
Wait a minute. That's your hula birthday.
Yeah,
Right?
no, it's
Celebration.
it's my real birthday.
Yeah.
March
But it's
8th.
also the fact that the guy we always celebrate it every year.
Yeah.
And here's the thing is that Robert became famous when he said, it's my birthday month. So we're celebrating the birthday month. Every
So
show.
many people now celebrate birthday
Me.
months.
It was all because of you. Because we go back to Ala Moana Hotel. Ala Moana Hotel.
Yes, we do.
Beautiful, not only upstairs at the summit, but downstairs.
Yep.
Where you folks
Two
started.
times in the cave
In the
and
cave.
in the other the tropics.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the
And your
tropics.
birthday was celebrated.
Beautiful.
Month was celebrated.
Right there.
And those
not only
auspicious
that,
years.
but let's go back to the Prow Lounge.
Yeah.
We did a
lot of it is
radio
blur,
broadcast.
You know,
We
we
did a
were.
radio broadcast.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I
Is
remember.
this live? Because we're gonna get in trouble starting like. Okay,
We don't need testimony.
It is 7:46. Troy Dombra. We're gonna get in trouble.
Birthday month, baby. Everything is exposed in a birthday month. Okay?
Well, you're the same day as Roland and Tootsie.
Yeah, Roland and Tootsie and I.
Robert's
Yeah,
brothers.
forever.
September 16th.
Twins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, same
September
yes.
6th.
Same day.
But birthday month coming up, and it's going to be a beautiful Aloha Friday evening.
Yes. Yeah. And thank God it's not, the first Friday because you'd have a hard time finding parking.
Parking to get there.
Yeah.
But it is the 14th, and that's all we need to know.
Hula Guy is happening. Yeah. And my as far as everybody wants to know, who are your guest stars? My guest stars are the guys in Nahala who are flying back for this.
Patrick.
Oh, no kidding.
Patrick's here.
Yeah.
Patrick's here.
Moses is coming.
Yeah.
Kilohana's coming.
Nalu?
Hey,
Nalu?
Nalu's on a little break right now.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But we're gonna have like about 40-something guys on the series.
Wow.
Yeah.
Robert, I remember a few years ago watching Patrick's show, The Natives Are Restless. And at one point you came up on stage and you complimented the show, and then you said, and now, brother, it's time for you to come home.
Yeah.
He had done a number that was kind of like Colleen and Auntie Mikey days, where, it was ballet, jazz, Tahitian, all in this number. But shortly after that, you came on stage, and I never forgot that moment, because it was like watching the two of you, the kumu to his...
And he'll be coming back this year.
Yeah.
He's here.
Yeah.
He's here now.
He's here already.
Yeah.
He's been training already. He's
training
taking
already?
a 4-month break.
Wow.
And came home to get himself, heavily involved in the culture.
And that's what I mean.
And the
That's what
kumu.
you were saying to him.
In the kumu, this
You,
kumu.
you were
Yes.
saying to
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Because
You,
Yeah.
you,
so the first thing we did, you gotta go eat, right?
right?
So, because that's part of the
We
culture.
guys win.
I'm not telling.
Well,
Well, I'll tell you after we off the,
There you go.
I had plenty of people.
Yes.
Robert, in music and in what you share with everyone, because, we're so lucky to have you for any moment that we get you to be a part of the show.
Thank you so much.
I gotta do this now. I'm getting this camera working because it's Robert Cazimero.
Well, I think it's just, this is what I find amazing. The first time I came in here and Ikaika was here with you, I thought to myself, you hear about huge corporations where the CEO has his son there, not necessarily in the mailroom, but and I walk in here and Kimo, we've known each other now for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And,
Short time.
and your son, who I remember was just a kid, is now here working with you, and I find that rewarding. I think that's what I would consider listening to the voices, watching the signs, because no matter how high tech we get, you still need. It would behoove you to hold on to those things, because they are what have made you the person that you are. today. And
Yes.
I look at your boy,
Yeah.
your son,
Yeah.
and Kamu too. Whenever I
Yeah,
see him,
Kamu, yeah.
and of course I see you, and the pride that goes back and forth is the kind of thing that makes you want to take the next step in your life. You know, and keep yourself so open that whatever does come can only be good. I mean, even the shitty stuff, eventually, because sometimes the shittiest lessons, if you can work your way through it, are the, oh boy, it's paramount how
That's
wonderful.
right. That's right. Because
they make your life.
challenges bring you to a better direction, a better place.
But you
a better
got to rise above it and work
Yes.
through it.
Yeah.
'Cause if you can't do that,
And this is a deep one with me. It's all about responsibility, right?
Yeah.
I don't care what people say. If you want to kick addiction, if you want to get rid of bad habits, if you want to move to a better life, the first thing you have to do is take responsibility for who you are and what you did and where you can move forward to it. Once you do that, you're free.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're free.
It's so easy and yet the most difficult
Yes.
thing
Yeah,
you could
yes,
do. It's
yes.
really, it really
Yes.
is.
Well, and then
Yes.
taking both of what you both said, discernment, then being able to have that wisdom, like you said. Now, when you take those steps, you're not making the same mistakes,
Yeah.
and hopefully we can be great role
Well, I
role
think of
models
it
in
as, you know that you've made the mistake.
Yeah.
You don't want to make that
That's-
mistake anymore, but
Right.
then again, it might be fun to
But it
try
could
it
be.
one more time.
Just one more time, okay? This is the last time.
That's
Don't
what I said,
worry.
man. This time I-
Depends, depends.
And this time I really mean it. I really mean it.
One more. Just one more time.
I'm going to eat that manaport today.
Just one more.
And then you'll be in your
God.
sunset.
Yeah.
It was one more time.
One more time. So I'm interested to get a footnote from Ikaika.
Yes,
Okay,
I
because-
am too.
Yeah.
About?
About Robert and about the music and about.
And about where
Because this is
where are you in your life?
This is a special moment.
Who's singing
Okay?
over there?
Yeah.
That must have been my computer. Sorry
It
about
was.
that. Well, Robert's music has always been special to me. And I think probably the song that brought Stephen Sue here was At Home in the Islands, At Home in the Islands.
Damn Capono writing that song, which was me.
Hey, you know what? You gotta hear this because Marvin sang this earlier in the show.
When I was still
Marvin's
Wait,
going
listen
to
to
the
this.
karaoke
Listen to
song.
this. Should I sing it?
Oh, no. So what happens is, they go, oh, Robert's going to be on the show, okay? And the first thing out of mouth is, my tropical baby, my little empress down in Waikiki.
love that song.
Okay, so Brother Nolan tells the story at the Crown with all the people there about how this one song got him residuals so that he still gets residuals today. And he said, you know, thanks to this one song that I wrote way back in my 20s. And it was
20s?
Tropical. Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
He wrote that in his 20s, Tropical Baby. And this somebody
And
told
he
him.
was told at that moment, in 20 years, you're going to have royalties for this song. He goes, I never even believed it. And then all of a sudden, here I am today. All these singers, musicians.
and he's talking on stage
And being
about
paid
that
for
song
this
because you guys
song.
recorded
That's
it.
such an awesome song.
That is.
I couldn't believe he let us record that song. You know, when he said, take it, I was like, okay, so here's this trip. We are in Boston. We're playing with the Boston Pops, Roland and I. And we are out on this beautiful island, Nantucket Island. And they're having a fundraiser there for the hospital on the island. Roland and I are on stage with this huge orchestra behind us. The beach goes like from here to Mamala Channel over there. And it's packed with people. And then out in the ocean are all these yachts. And there are all these
right.
people there. And we are singing with this orchestra, My Tropical Baby.
Wow.
It was so good. I mean, we all have moments in our life.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
if you can have more than one mahalo kia cool. But the place was rocking. We just had to. We made them yell hana ho. They never know what they was talking about. But we said we want to do it again. You're going to have to yell hana ho. We yelled hana ho. And we're doing it with this orchestra.
Wow.
It was.
That's the rest of the story.
Well, the fact that Robert even said hana ho, because we all know that you don't normally like to do
let me-
hana ho.
Let me tell you, they received
Native
so many
Hawaiian.
accolades by Native Hawaiian Chamber of Commerce.
OO awards.
The OO Awards, they did a
Hana
hana ho.
ho.
And you know, that's when you know it's special.
Yeah.
That's when you know it's special. When you really do it when it's special, it means something. And you know, guess what? we're running out of time. So,
all right.
yeah,
So is
we're
my
at
car.
yeah, you gotta get your
I gotta get to my car because it's coffee time, baby.
coffee time.
So Robert, you know, Kimo's been telling me, you need to sing and talk like you're gonna sing. So I'm listening to Robert this whole time and watching his enunciation, and it's just as you keep saying.
Exactly.
And on
exactly.
with
Thank
that.
you for mentioning that, honey. Ladies and gentlemen, our show has run out of time. But
I gotta go.
No, but it's true. It's true on singing, right? It's how if you
Yes.
can say it, if you can
Yes.
feel it, and you can sing it in the same way, you can articulate what you're expressing.
I'm
and
right there.
And I think-
nobody has done it better than Robert Cazimero.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say that I want to comment on Robert. You know, talking about anybody can live through the good times. It's the hard times, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And into
Absolutely.
those.
Absolutely.
And Marvin?
Mahalo for having me. And
Woo!
you know, it's
It's a treat seeing all of you.
it's been special all morning long.
What a
Thank you,
day.
everybody. Thank you.
Thank you for
Simon.
being
Welcome,
here.
Yay! Thank
Robert
you.
Kim and Pisa for making this possible, and his Pelotron companies. It's time to say ahui ho. Happy Aloha Friday, everybody. Aloha no.
Hey, that's the first time we never sang it at the end. It would have been great with all your voices. Usually he takes us all.
It was where I sit all cloudy and blends with the green bananas lying everywhere. Got a guitar in my hand and a Western oil can under my ukole for a chair. It's Aloha Friday.